So good morning, lovely yogis. And just starting on your mat, wherever you feel most comfortable. If you feel like sitting this morning, that's fine. Or if you're more drawn to lying back on your mat and just having those first few moments completely relaxing in Shavasana, that's perfect too. How do you feel? Notice if you've got any funny little aches or pains or twinges, and just honour that through your practice, observing what we call satya, which is truth, and ahimsa, non-harm. They're the first two of the yamas, which are personal observances. And taking a moment also to root down. Always do this at the beginning of your practice. Always do this at the beginning of your day if you can remember. A nice time to do it is when you're standing. So we're always usually standing when we're brushing our teeth. Have a moment just to root down, or that moment that you swing your legs out of bed and they first touch the floor. It's a really lovely way of associating back to your yogic practice and starting yoga for the day, even if you haven't got a class that day. Yoga is part of life, not just on your mat. So draw your awareness to the crown of your head and just take in how it feels around Sahasrara, about an inch above the top of your head. And then just checking in with the energy around your forehead, how this feels, if it feels quite normal. Sometimes if we have a lot going on in our life, in our mind, it can be a kind of a dense energy here, a heaviness to the head energy. Check in around your throat. Have you been talking a lot? Or have you had some quiet, introspective time recently? Heart center. How open are you feeling in your heart? Because there's days when we just feel like we just want to hunker down and hibernate, close all the doors. And then there will be days where you just feel so light and airy, especially if you come together with friends and that's lifted you, and you can feel a different sensation here. It's very subtle. Notice solar plexus above your navel. So this area of motivation, getting things done, whether you're lethargic and a little bit can't be bothered today. Awareness now on your sacral, so below your navel. So this is lower digestive system, lower back. And this is all linked with going with the flow in life and your relationships and your emotions and your passions and creativity. Sometimes we can be really flowing if you like to write or create, and then other times total block and you need to walk away from it. And then also we have root chakra at the base of our spine. That sense of feeling grounded and feeling purposeful in the space that we take up on this earth. And knowing that you have your role here. So if you're seated, just join me lying down. We're going to come into stretches. It's always good to have a look through your energy centres, or the places in your body that can reflect whether you're in or out of balance, because there's so many things we can do to draw ourselves back into balance. There's yoga, there's food, there's essential oils, colour, all sorts of things. So when you're ready, taking your right arm up and over and letting the hand fall to the floor behind you. Lifting toes, flexing foot, and just a lovely long stretch here, opening up through your right hand side, Pingala, masculine aspect. So if you're a bit indecisive, this is the side that we would want to balance more. Point your toes now and just enjoy that stretch over the top of the leg, stomach meridian. And then when you're ready, just exhale, relax, take the arm down, palms up for a moment, just noticing how your body feels, anything different. And then left side, inhaling, arm over. Toes lifted, foot flexed, and a lovely stretch here. pointing toes. Ida, feminine side, our nurturing, our intuitive energy. And then when you're ready, exhale, arm down. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, both arms over. Just let the chin tuck in a little, lengthen through the back of the neck. And really enjoy how the spine feels, which parts connect to the mat, which parts lift away. And then just flex and point the toes alternately. Feeling the shoulder blades lift, stretch into the palms and fingers. And then when you're ready, exhale, arms down. And already just feeling a little bit more vibrant through your body from 3 simple stretches. Let's draw the right knee in. Hands around the shin, deep breath. And exhale, coming up. Follow the whole breath as it leaves the body. Belly falls to spine. Notice the end of your breath and holding the breath out. Inhale when you're ready to come down. Left side. So this is where we can be so mindful of our breath. A lovely deep inhale, belly up to chest. Exhale as we come up. All the stagnant air leaves the body. Pausing. And then inhale when you're ready to come down. Both knees in now. Same again. Deep breath. And exhale up. Each week that we do this, we can notice whether the lung capacity feels different in any way, whether it's easier to breathe one week than the other. Inhale down, just holding onto knees, and we'll just gently rock from side to side, rolling in a few small circles. I think a lot of the time in our day-to-day life, we kind of half breathe. We don't take full breaths. There's a sort of a partial inhale, partial exhale, and we unconsciously continue this. We never really fill the lungs and then really empty them out, which is where our yoga comes in. Okay, rolling up seated, we'll do Paramottanasana 1. Anti-rheumatic warm-up. So very gentle, so very easy, but easy for the mind to wander off what we're doing. Let's just come into Chin Mudra with our hands, first finger and thumb, just touching. Let the eyelids close for a moment. Notice the structure of your spine, whether you feel a little bit slumped in this seated position. I'm on a meditation cushion. This allows the hips to be over the knees. And if you have a small cushion at home, then this is beneficial. Just lift through the spine, close the eyes, root down again through your tailbone. Notice where the breath is, whether it's very chest or whether you can bring breath to the belly. And then we'll take chin down to chest, pausing for a moment just to feel whatever you feel in this stretch, where it radiates, whether it's left side more, right side more. And then chin up to the ceiling. Again, what sensation you feel, if there's any pinching, any nerve tingles, and down again one more time. When we're aware of our little areas that we have to be careful, we'll take more notice of it throughout the day. Taking the chin up one more time. Coming back to centre. And then just tilting head to the right, over to the left. Coming back to centre, and now we'll just twist the head as if we're looking over the right shoulder. Just pause and notice the flexibility here, and then over to the left. Any twinges, coming back to centre. And then we'll take the chin down and a full rotation of the head all the way round. Notice once again if you go always in the same direction, or whether you did it differently today. Have you got any stiffness in the neck? How does the throat feel? And coming back to centre. Taking the hands out in front of you and then stretching fingers and then thumbs in, thumbs out. And then palms up and down. And then rotating gently. Does everything feel normal? Other way? Or anything different? Palms up, deep breath in. Exhale, just noticing your elbows today. Left one, right one, inner part of the elbow, outer part of the elbow. And then fingertips on the shoulders, and we'll rotate round. And again here, whatever you feel here, does it radiate through the sides of your body or the back? Other way a few times. So easy to ignore our body and carry on as usual, isn't it? So when we do these warm-ups, we can't be anything but aware. So toes now, just opening and closing toes. And then pointing and flexing feet. One over the other, just rotating a few times each direction. And then we'll swap sides. It's always quicker one way, isn't it? The other way always feels a little bit awkward. And then right knee, hand under the thigh, just gently moving the knee joint just to see how it feels today. Nice and healthy and happy, hopefully. And then hip. A few times in each direction. Even as you do this, notice how it feels through your back. And then left knee first. And then hip. Again, any other sensations that radiate out from this movement? Other way a few times. And coming into butterfly. Just resting forward ever so gently. How does it feel through the back, through the hips, pelvis? Okay, and then gently coming up. I'd like to start with boat pose. A seated balance. We'll do it in 3 stages, just to get used to the posture. If anybody has got any twinges in their lower back, or their lower back is an area you need to be careful of, just be mindful of this pose. Keep it to a sort of a gentle posture. So a nice tall spine, placing the hands under your thighs, and we're just going to tilt back initially. Toes can come away from the mat. And just feel that sense of balance and stillness. We can lift the legs ever so slowly, maybe to half boat. Gently engaging into your core, pulling in on the pelvic diaphragm. Don't forget to breathe. Notice if you hold your breath or whether you stop or slow the breath. Gently lower down. You can give the legs a little release if you want to. It's nice to do this sometimes because then you come back into the pose with a sort of a fresh feeling. So we'll come into it again, lovely tall spine. We don't want to collapse the spine in this posture. So coming in, engaging your core, coming up again. Pausing into stillness, but breathing up, belly, chest up towards the head. And then we'll gently lower. Again, just release. Where do you feel this? Is it hip flexors? Is it belly? Is it lower back? Just observing where this pose feels for you. And then finally we'll come up, either holding onto the backs of the thighs if you still need to, or you can release the arms into a nice parallel arms here. Try not to collapse the spine. Engaging but breathing. And then gently release. Lovely. And again, just rub anything that you need to. You will feel that. Come into child's pose for a moment. Either with your knees wide, or you can have them together and hands back to feet. Just have a little moment here. Rock, perhaps, the hips from side to side. And then from here, we're just going to come into an upper body twist. It's nice to thread your left arm underneath your right arm. Look towards the hand. Taking a few breaths. And then other side. Taking that right arm underneath the left. And then when you're ready, just coming back to centre, we can walk the hands back towards the body, bring the knees together, turn the toes under for a little toe stretch here. This is always nice. And we can turn the fingers back to point towards our toes, opening up through the inner arms here. The yin channels of the heart and the lungs. And then we can release. I'd like to come to standing. We're going to start with a forward fold, just to prepare our back for some other movement. Okay, we'll take a nice swan dive, just feet about hip distance apart or comfortable. Inhale, take the arms up. Lovely long stretch through the body. And then we'll swan dive down, really extending, but bending from the hips, not the waist. Have a moment here, just in ragdoll. Release the arms so they dangle. Bend into the knees generously. You can wiggle the hips if you need to. Just notice if you have got any twinges. And then when you're ready, we'll roll up through the spine. Inhale. Coming up. Okay. Excuse me. So we'll do a sun salutation and then the more modern version of the moon salutation today. Nice to move through these two sequences that are very lovely for balancing the masculine and our feminine energies. So joining me at the top of your mat, we'll start with Surya Namaskar, sun salutations. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale, saluting the sun. Gentle back bend. Folding forwards. And lifting the back, looking ahead of you. Hands to the mat, the right leg comes back. Knee down, into equestrian. Pausing here for a moment. Let's just sort of dip through the pelvis and the hips. Feeling that lovely stretch in the hip flexors. Down dog. Take your time here and really ground through the base of each finger. Palm of the hand, lifting tailbone, nice strong arms. And then deep breath in. Exhale, knees down to the mat. Release the feet. Buttocks come back to your heels. On the inhale, coming into Sphinx, we'll start with. Our first back bend. And just noticing how this feels for a moment. Try not to collapse the chest between the shoulders. Try and lift, drawing the ears away from your shoulders. Looking forwards. Gentle engagement into the core. Noticing that lumbar spine. And then hands under the shoulders, pushing back up into down dog. Left foot forwards. Again, just a lovely stretch here through your legs. Feet together at the top of the mat. Linking thumbs, sweeping up. Lovely. So, other side. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. And folding forwards. Lifting the back, flattening the back, looking ahead. Left leg back. Again, let's just balance out this side, pausing for a moment, really enjoying this stretch. And then down dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Lifting that tailbone, lovely flat back. Deep breath in. Exhale, coming down to knees, buttocks back to heels. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right foot forwards. Gazing up. Feet together. And sweep up. Okay. Just have a moment on the mat. Rather than going straight into the moon salutation, let's just have a few breaths just to reflect. I know it's a little bit more movement, but sun salutation is all about stimulating the right hand side of your body, or the energy that flows through the right nadi pingala. Masculine energy. It's very linked with the root, the solar plexus, the throat and the crown, so the alternating chakras. And the more yin energy, the feminine energy, is therefore linked with the sacral, the heart and the third eye. So just having a few moments here just to feel through your body what's released, what feels better. Can you feel a bit more of an energy flowing somehow through the right hand side? It's quite strange sometimes when we focus in that way, the sort of the opposing energies. So we'll bring right knee in, left knee. Have a gentle rock. A few rolls. And then we'll come up to standing for the moon salutation. So rather than the opposite of the sun salutation version we've done, we're going to do the more modern version. Joining me slightly off center to the right side of your mat. And we'll just go through one-sided flow of the moon. So hands to heart. I think we're in a waxing moon phase at the moment. It's approaching the quarter moon. So a phase where we are building up, we are creating, lifting our ideas. So taking a nice deep breath in, raising the arms, exhale, lean outwards, inhale through to center, and then exhale over to your left. Inhale to center. Taking the left foot to the side, and we lower down into goddess squat. Feeling it in the thighs, nice tall back. Lifting gently, we're going to turn the right foot inwards, the left foot out into Trikonasana, lowering down to your left side. If you come into this pose and feel that your right shoulder collapses forward, just take the time here just to really open up. If you need to lift yourself higher, then please do. Just opening up into this lovely pose. Gazing up. Rotate your right hip forwards and just adjusting your back foot as we come into pyramid pose. And again, just pausing here. It's a shame to move through these too quickly. Feeling that lovely stretch in that front calf. Noticing what you feel in the back leg. We're going to bend lower The right knee down, coming into a low lunge and raising the arms into crescent. Really dropping those hips, feel that stretch. And then hands come to the inside of the left foot. We're going to rotate the whole right leg over so that the knee is pointing upwards, the toes are pointing upwards, and just pausing again to enjoy the inner stretch in that leg. That is liver, kidneys and spleen, all activated here. Over to the other side, just moving over. And again, just take a pause for that lovely activation. Turning into low lunge towards the other side, raising the arms, really dipping into the hips. We felt this already through sun salutation. Dropping the hands down, push yourself up into pyramid. Taking a moment just to have your feet placement in the position where it feels steady, balanced. Opening up into Trikonasana, left on your right side. Gazing up, lifting up into goddess squat. And then right foot towards your left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale outwards. Inhale through centre. And exhale to the other side. Lovely side stretch. This is gallbladder energy on the sides of your body. Coming back to hands to heart. Okay, loves. Have a moment on your mat. Again, just a pause between your poses to reflect and feel into the feminine energy. Take a nice deep breath and a long sigh. And although that is the second sequence that we've done, so you may feel like a little bit more tired, I don't know. Notice if it has sort of a calmer feeling, cooler feeling to the after effects. Deep breaths. Just taking a few moments to be still and observe. So bringing right knee in and then left knee. Gently rocking. Enjoy rolling on some circles on your back. So coming up for a seated twist. We've come forward with the body, gently back with the body in Cobra and Sphinx. So coming into all planes of movement through your practice is lovely. So walk out the pads of your buttocks so your sit bones connect. Lovely tall spine. We're going to take the right foot over the left knee. And if you can flex into your left foot, you'll feel more. Right arm comes to hug round the front. Left arm swings behind you. Make sure that as you do this, you don't sort of start to collapse through the back. And then just gazing over your right shoulder. Either fingertips on the mat or palm, however it feels through the length of your arm. As you breathe in, we lengthen, and as we exhale, we twist. And when you're ready, just come back round to the front. Still keeping the legs in the same position. Just roll yourself to your left-hand side. And we're going to swing your left foot under your right buttock, or to close to the right buttock. So we're just deepening this seated twist. You might feel a little bit more of a stretch in the left hip here, but the arms move in the same way. The left arm comes to the front and your right arm behind you. So a little bit more of a bind. Notice if you feel more tense in your body, whether you can be aware of this tension, relax it a little bit, and still enjoy this twist. Take a nice deep breath. We'll come back to the front. Just lean again to the left. Release your left leg. And then your right. Have a few moments just to lean back. If you need to just sort of wag your tail, flex through the body, roll the belly. Then we can. And then coming to seated, again, just walk out the pads of buttocks so we feel the sit bones connect yet again with the mat. Lovely tall spine, left foot over right knee. We'll do the same again. So we're taking a nice flex into that front right foot. Right arm comes and hugs around the front and the left arm swings behind us. Lovely tall spine as we come in to explore this twist, looking over the left shoulder. Notice if in some ways there is relief here or whether you feel more perhaps in the neck. Just observing everything that you feel. Deep breaths to belly. Lovely for your immune system, your spine and your nervous system, your solar plexus, all digestive. Okay, take a breath. When you're ready, just come back round to the front. Just lean now towards your right to swing your foot under the opposite buttock or resting next to the hip. So a lovely tall spine here. Again, right arm to the front, left arm behind. If this is too much, please just come back into the first pose. If this is aggravating anything with you or causing pain. So as we come into this twist, notice if you're tense around your right hip and thigh. Can you gently relax and enjoy the twist without being so tightly wound? Awareness on your breath. And gently we'll take one more breath, coming back round to the front. Leaning to your right so that you can release your leg, then your left leg, and then this time just come down to your mat for a moment. After any deep twist like that, it's very wise to let your spine reset. So a little wag of your tail, little rock of your pelvis, just to find a comfortable position. If your eyes are closed, you can just imagine all of the vertebrae and the cartilage plumping back into their original shape. Nice healthy nerves extending from their respective vertebrae. A healthy blood flow. All nice and restored. Try to relax the muscles through your back. Quite often you'll hold tension here. Okay, draw the knees in, gently rocking. How do you feel? Where do you feel the energy here? It will probably be very centered on the core of your body, the area that we've just been working with. Nice twist. So we'll roll up to seated and coming into a wide-legged posture to start with. And then we'll explore bringing each leg in. Okay, so with Hatha, there's a lovely length to our body. Inhale, take the arms up, gentle flex into the feet and forward fold, keeping the back straight here rather than collapsing into the spine. Keeping a lovely length. You might not feel like you tilt forward very much, that's fine, but you're going to feel a lovely stretch on the inner thighs. Just noticing what you feel. It's all about you exploring your body in these poses, not how perfect the pose is supposed to look. Okay, lifting up, we're going to draw the left foot in towards the centre. Lovely tall spine. Just twist the body just ever so slightly towards the right foot now. Inhale, take the arms up. Deep breath in. And exhale, folding forwards now towards your right leg. Again, you might not feel like you come forward too much. Try to relax your right knee and thigh if you feel like it's all tense. But you are now feeling a lovely stretch in the left side of your waist. So again, gallbladder meridian. Just breathe and feel what you feel. Lifting up slowly. We're now going to do a reverse kind of twist. So just rest your right hand on the inner part of your right knee. Inhale, take your left arm up, and then we're going to just lean over, almost like a kind of a little ballet move here, leaning towards the right leg. Again, a nice stretch through the left side of the body, but feeling it in a different place. Lifting up, releasing. Extend out your left leg, and we'll do the same from the right side. So lovely tall spine. So initially just gentle twist of the body towards the left leg. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forwards. Only coming as far as it feels right to come. If there are any twinges or there is pain in the body, be very observant. Don't push too much. Relaxing the thigh and the knee if you can, if you're all very tense here. So notice how it feels in the stretch to the side of your body on the right side, where you feel it. And then we're going to come into that other position where we come into a slight rotation. So breathing, come up. Right hand, the palm facing up. Sorry, left hand, get myself right, comes to the inside of the knee. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, leaning over. And just breathing, noticing how it feels and what you feel and where you feel it. Don't worry if you can't come over. There will be some people who can get their head to their knee and other people will not. And deep breath in, coming up. Just release your legs. Have a moment to lie down. Observe how it feels through the back of your body and the sides of your body. Where do you feel prana moving, chi movement, perhaps coolness, warmth in the body, a little subtle tingling? It's always interesting to observe the finer details. So draw the knees in, right one, left one. Have a moment to rock. We're going to counterpose those forward movements with fish pose. So a lovely curve into lumbar and thoracic spine. Again, any issues with your back, be very gentle here. You can make this easier for yourself. Right, so lying down with your palms face down, just lift your right buttock and slide your hand underneath so you're sitting on the back of your hand, and the same on the left side. So slide the hand under, palms are on the mat, you're sitting on the backs of your hands, and just gently sort of lift your chest and tuck the upper arms underneath a little bit. So from an aerial perspective, it's like you've hidden your arms. And then from here, we're going to take a nice deep breath in, bend at the elbows and lift our body up. Your heels may move forward a little bit. Keep your gaze on your toes if you've got issues with the neck. You can still have an openness in the chest here, but if you haven't got any problems with the neck, just start to let the head relax back. This will lift the chest a little more. In this lovely fish pose. Very good for your heart and your throat energy. If you need to, you can lower yourself down gently so that the crown of your head touches the mat if you wish. A lovely curve into lumbar and upper back. Deep breaths. When you're ready, lift your head first, nice and slowly so you're gazing at your toes, and then you can gently lower yourself down. Release your hands for a moment, come back into Shavasana, just take the feet apart and just observe how that feels through your body. I often find, having come into any forward folds, that fish pose or any back bend is very, very relieving and a lovely balance for the body. Again, have a nice long sigh, relax. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Let's draw knees in. Give yourself a little hug. Rocking gently. We'll bring the feet up to the ceiling into happy baby and just have a nice rock here. Take the knees out to the side, and then if you can, hold with your fingers the sole of your foot. Great. If not, just hold around the ankle or behind your knees on the backs of your thighs is an alternative position. And you can just gently rock here. This is a lovely pose to come into. This is very balancing for your sacral chakra, hip area, relationships, creativity. And then gently just draw the knees into chest. Have a moment just to feel the relief. And again, if you just need to rock from side to side, we'll roll on the back. So we'll roll up to seated, come into a position where you can sit for a few moments. I'd like to do a pranayama breathing practice before we relax. So I would like to, there are so many different ways of breathing with yoga. There's triangle breath, there's square breath where you breathe equally on the inhale, the hold, the exhale and the hold. Then there are many, many different ratios and ways to breathe, and each affects the different way prana and energy moves and flows in the body. It can become quite technical. So we're going to try another breath today. We're going to breathe in for the count of 4, and we're going to exhale for the count of 6. But then I'd like to extend the exhale, after we've done that a few times, to the count of 8. So still breathing in for 4, so a quicker inhale, and we're going to just gradually extend the exhale. So we'll start with a 6 count, and then we'll move to the 8 count. So we can just rest the hands to Dhyana Mudra. Let your eyelids close. I'll talk through it a few times. So together, let's inhale for 4. And then exhale for 6. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Inhale for 4. Exhale 6. This time, inhale for 4, exhale for 8. So again, 4 and 8. One more round. And then if you want to, just come into relaxation. Let yourself relax on the mat using blankets, bolsters, popping warm socks on if you need to. So just allowing yourself to be really relaxed. So, a meditation on strength. Let yourself relax back to your mat. Soften all of your body from head to toe. Rooting down again. The affirmation is, I am strong. Close your eyes softly and visualize yourself sitting against a large old oak tree. Feel strength in your back, from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. Allow that strength to enter your mind and repeat the affirmation, I am strong. Think how this tree grew from a very small acorn, sprouting forth a shoot. Visualize this shoot coming up through the earth, developing into a small tree, growing strong through the seasons. Feel your body widening out at the shoulders and lengthening upwards. Feel the body growing. Be aware of a strong tree trunk moving upwards towards the light, always looking and searching towards the light. Feel the warmth around the back, and now visualize this tree deep down to the roots, how they spread out hard and gnarled, how the roots taper and soften as they sink deeper into the earth, and how they finally end up as threads, searching out for food and moisture. Feel how strongly they bond the tree to the earth, how the roots become the firm foundation for growth. Now be aware of the name of this tree, the colour of the leaves, the deep shades of brown, the crust of the bark and the texture, and even the smell of the earth. How old is this tree? How many people have sat here against the trunk? Feel the strength again, feel the steady support, and repeat again the affirmation, I am strong. Now be aware of the steady beat of the heart and the in and out breath, the length of your exhalation, the slow evenness, the complete integration of breath with the heartbeat. Feel the link between the breath and the life force and strength. And just in your mind now, repeat the affirmation 3 times. I am strong. I am strong. I am strong. Om Shanti. So just have a few moments here now, just relaxing in this visualization. When we visualize something that we believe is strong and grounded and secure, but also flexible, we can also take on those attributes. In your mind's eye, you may like to turn round and hug this big, beautiful old oak tree, feeling your cheek against its deep bark of the trunk. Very gently. No need to move just yet. Just draw the awareness back to my voice and to the sensation of where you are in your room. Notice your thoughts. What was that last thought of yours? How long can you follow a thought consciously before it goes off on a tangent? Are you ready for the rest of your day, looking forward to it, or reluctant and wanting to stay restful? Just notice these feelings as well. Perhaps where your battery energy is, your little human battery. So we can just gently start to wiggle fingers and toes. Perhaps shrug the shoulders and drop them, rolling them a few times, tilting the head, and maybe coming into a stretch and then raising knees to chest. Take a few deep breaths, taking in that lovely prana, life force energy. Perhaps we don't really ever think about where our breath goes, but the energy that we take in, not just the oxygen, goes into all of our cells, all of the joints, all of the organs, everything beautifully flowing in our body. So when you're ready, coming up to seated, we will chant 3 Oms together to end our practice. This is lovely for our throat chakra, third eye, crown. Very, very balancing. Om is known to be the first resounding sound of the universe. Very primordial sound. So just resting hands to Chin Mudra. Let your eyelids close. Notice the strength, the weakness, the sound of each Om of yours as you chant today. So deep breath in. Bringing hands together, rubbing the palms, feeling the heat generate in the palm of your hands. And then we'll palm the eyes, feel the warmth, letting the eyes open, light through, and then hands coming down to heart. Om Shanti. Namaste.